Good evening, everyone. Welcome to NTD Tonight. I'm David Zhang. Here is a preview of some of today's top stories. Recovery efforts underway in Taiwan following a 7.4 magnitude earthquake. More on the current situation. The storm system behind recent tornadoes, flooding, and snow is pushing east, leaving behind a path of destruction. A suspected shoplifter chased by police mounted on horses. Find out how the chase ended. A 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit Taiwan yesterday. At least 9 people dead and more than 900 injured. That number may rise as the rescue operation unfolds. The quake is the strongest to rattle the island in 25 years. Here's more.
Eyewitness video captured the moment a powerful earthquake hit Taiwan on Wednesday, the strongest tremor to rock the island in at least 25 years. It left several people dead and injured hundreds more, with local TV stations airing footage of a building half collapsed in the eastern area of Hualien. Firefighters rushed to rescue people from the damaged building. The quake struck just offshore from Hualien around 8 a.m. as people were going to work and school. It also triggered huge landslides and sparked a tsunami warning briefly for the island, as well as southern Japan and the Philippines. Taiwan authorities said they registered more than 25 aftershocks, with witnesses saying tremors could still be felt in Taipei later in the day. Residents in the northern capital city described the moment the quake hit.
It was shaking very violently. All the motorcycles outside our house toppled over. So I quickly switched off the gas and the electrical source and opened the main door.
It was shaking like this quite strongly. Maybe an earthquake hasn't happened in a long time, so it felt really terrifying.
The Taipei city government said it had not received any reports of major damage, and the city's metro was up and running soon after the tremor. Electricity operator Taipower said some 87,000 households in Taiwan were without power as of early afternoon. It also said that the quake did not affect the country's 2 nuclear power stations. Taiwan's high-speed rail operator said no damage or injuries were reported on its trains, but noted that service would be delayed while it carried out inspections. It's the biggest earthquake to hit the island since 1999, according to the government-backed Central News Agency, when a 7.6 magnitude tremor killed around 2,400 people.
Taiwan's president-elect Lai Ching-te said rescuing victims trapped under the rubble is now the top priority.
Currently, the most important thing, the top priority, is to rescue people. Rescuing them is of utmost priority. We need to find out how many people are still trapped and to rescue them as soon as we can.
Lai said efforts are underway to restore two-way traffic by tomorrow evening. Authorities are also working to restore water and power. Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen was briefed on the earthquake earlier in the day. She said the government is ready to face the situation and will work on this together. Weather officials said aftershocks could still be felt in Taipei, with more than 50 recorded. Chinese media said the quake was felt in the southeastern province of Fujian. Now let's take a look at other top headlines. Back to the U.S., 4 states went to the polls yesterday in the presidential primaries, but some voters didn't see the point in voting for candidates who are already presumptive nominees. President Biden and former President Trump clinched their party's nominations earlier this year. Both won easily in Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, and Wisconsin. But the numbers show a deeper discontent among American voters. Rhode Island and Connecticut saw a significant percentage of uncommitted voters in the Democratic primaries. Some Republican voters are still voting for Trump's rivals, who have already dropped out of the race. And Trump is now calling on Biden to debate. Hear him address his supporters at a rally in Green Bay, Wisconsin last night.
We have an empty podium right here to my right. You know what that is? That's for Joe Biden. I'm trying to get him to debate so that we can discuss in a friendly manner the real problems of our country, of which there are many, instead of trying to have corrupt prosecutors fight your battles for you. That's no good.
Trump has said he is willing to have the debates overseen by the Democratic National Committee or the Commission on Presidential Debates. Biden's campaign has not committed to participate in debates. During his speech, Trump took a swipe at Biden for his policies, particularly on illegal immigration. Trump promises to launch a large operation to deport illegal immigrant criminals if he wins a second term. Also on Trump's legal cases, Trump is now asking for the presiding judge to recuse himself from the so-called hush money case. Trump's lawyers argue that the judge's daughter, who works as a Democratic political consultant, poses a potential conflict of interest. Trump made a similar request last year for Judge Juan Merchan to recuse himself, but the judge declined to do so after an ethics panel found that his daughter's work did not raise reasonable questions about his impartiality. In a court filing dated April 1st, Trump's lawyers argued that the trial would financially benefit Merchan's daughter's firm, Authentic Campaigns. The company describes itself as a progressive political consulting firm. Trump says she has a partisan interest in the case and says she has received millions from his political opponents. Also, records reveal that Judge Juan Merchan has ties to New York Attorney General Letitia James, sparking further bias concerns. Judge Merchan's wife, Lara Merchan, worked for 21 years as a special assistant to the AG in New York, including 3 years under James. She changed jobs more than 2 years ago. Attorney General Letitia James brought the massive $350 million civil fraud case against the former president. James fixated on Trump as she campaigned for the Attorney General's position. She called Trump an illegitimate president in a comment during her run, showing that she has a political vendetta against him. The storm system behind recent tornadoes, flooding, and snow is pushing east, leaving behind a path of destruction. More than 275,000 homes and businesses across the several states were without power last night. That includes in West Virginia, Kentucky, Wisconsin, Ohio, Indiana, and Michigan. A powerful system of thunderstorms brought damaging winds, dangerous hail, and tornadoes to parts of the Ohio Valley. The strong storms brought flooding, downed trees, power outages, and road blockages across West Virginia. At least 13 homes were damaged and some residents were injured. 14 tornadoes were confirmed yesterday across Illinois, Kentucky, Ohio, Alabama, and Tennessee. This possible tornado in Tennessee was caught on camera. Damaged telephone poles and storm-battered buildings show the storm's ferocity. Cell phone video shows a University of Kentucky student being knocked over by high winds. The university canceled classes due to the powerful gusts. People in some parts of Kentucky are homeless after yesterday's tornado. Officials are urging drivers anywhere in the storm's wake to beware of downed trees hiding power lines. Body cam footage shows horse-mounted police officers chasing and detaining a suspected shoplifter in New Mexico. The incident eventually spilled out into traffic but ended safely with no reported injuries or accidents. NTD's Jason Blair has the story.
You need to stop or force will be used against you.
The chase began when witnesses confirmed that they saw a man shoplift from a Walgreens.
Did he steal something? Come on.
The chase went through the outdoor storefront and into a drive-through area. 30-year-old Mark Chacon was running on foot and not complying with the officer's orders.
Stop! You're being detained!
The pursuit eventually led onto a road, stopping traffic. Other officers on horseback arrived and they were able to surround Chacon and get him out of the street. Eventually, he stopped trying to flee and an officer was able to get him in handcuffs and into custody. Albuquerque police said that Chacon allegedly stole $230 worth of merchandise. He was charged with shoplifting, evading police on foot, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Jason Blair, NTD News.
The squatters' rights battle continues in New York City. 2 alleged squatters in Jamaica, Queens, are suing the owner of a duplex they were staying in. They're using an allegedly fraudulent lease agreement and a $25 delivery receipt to prove they were living there long enough to be legal inhabitants. NTD's Chris Beers has the latest on the battle over squatters' rights in the Big Apple.
Dennis Kurland and Julia Fullman had just finished renovating a duplex for $500,000 when their broker found two men on the property. The next day they changed the locks. Now the alleged squatters are suing the couple.
I think the laws have to be changed here in New York State, and squatters should not be allowed. That's an old law that goes back to the 1700s or 1600s. And we have to amend the laws and get stricter. Your home is your home, and people can't just go in there and take possession because they're there for a certain amount of time.
Seems like a sticky situation. I don't know. I mean, people have to have rights that protect them, but sometimes those rights might be impede on other people's property, you know?
I think if someone illegally entered a property, they shouldn't have legal rights to sue the owner of the property.
I mean, squatters' rights do exist for a reason, but they're not to be taken advantage of. There's good reasons for it to exist, and that's not one of those reasons, I would think.
New York City law says squatters can claim a right to live in a property after 30 days. That limit is 10 years statewide and 5 to 20 years nationwide.
That's completely insane. Just like you just saying, okay, I live here now, doesn't give you the right to live there. I think that's insane.
I mean, it's definitely different. I mean, I got nothing against trying things out and experimenting. Doesn't sound like it's a good result so far, though. But, like I said, there's a reason to have squatters' rights. I'm not necessarily sure that, scenario you pointed out, though, is one of the good reasons for it to be around.
I think it's ridiculous. Like I said before, the laws have to be changed. I think Florida, Governor DeSantis just passed a good law, said that they cannot stay there. They're going to call the cops right away. You have to get out if it's legally your home.
Run-ins with squatters have been making headlines. One homeowner was arrested recently after changing the locks on $1 million home she inherited. She was trying to keep a squatter out. Chris Beers, NTD News.
Well, take a short break now, everybody, but here's a look at what we have for you when we come back. A Los Angeles film director helps local homeless. NTD hears more about his organization and the impact they hope to make. One of the oldest hotels on the Las Vegas Strip officially closed down. The city is making room for a new sports stadium. Free sandwiches are Arby's this month. Find out how to participate and receive the tasty rewards. Those stories and more coming up on NTD Tonight. Welcome back to NTD Tonight. I'm your host, David Zhang. Homelessness is a growing problem across California, especially in cities like Los Angeles. NTD's Ruby Lovell, host of Right on LA, speaks to a film director who created the organization Bags and Grace. The goal, to bring some relief to those living on the streets.
Homelessness is a humanitarian crisis here in California. Today, I'll be speaking to Hollywood director, writer, producer Tom Provost, who started a mission organization called Bags and Grace in 2017, taking matters into his own hands by filling bags with essential things that homeless people like this need. I'll also be talking to some of the Hollywood celebrities that he's got involved to volunteer for this cause. So I'm here in downtown LA with Tom Provost, and you started this mission and initiative, which is fantastic, to help the homeless, called Bags and Grace.
Bags and Grace. Yes, we're at bagsandgrace.com if you want to donate. But we make bags of food, sundries, socks, clothes, and we distribute them to the unhoused on the streets of LA and Orange County. Our goal is we bring things right to the people where they're sleeping on the street. So they don't have to find us, we find them, and we give them enough food and water to survive for about 5 days. A lot of people come in and help me fill the bags, and then I bring them out and just distribute them on the street. And then I work with two wonderful charities also, Street Medicine LA and Laundry Truck LA, and they also help distribute the bags.
Tell us what brings you here today and why do you want to be involved in this?
Well, the homeless problem across America is just really bad, but here in Los Angeles, it's even worse in a lot of ways. So what's wonderful about what's happening here with filling the bags is it's very thoughtful in terms of what goes in the bags: protein, hydration, toiletries, special care when it comes to women, and special care when it comes to the elements. Really thinking about what it is that people need on a daily basis.
I just made me cry reading about Tom this morning, reading his bio. I was bursting into tears because what he's doing is what I wish. I mean, what a great heart he has.
And that's Tom Provost, who started Bags and Grace in 2017.
And I rushed down here thinking, I've got to get here by 3 o'clock to do this and help him.
It is a humanitarian crisis. When you walk down the streets of LA, you see tents, you see people with no clothes on. This is Ruby Lovell, NTD, in downtown Los Angeles.
Dogs can understand more than we thought, according to a new study. Researchers in Hungary found that our furry friends can recognize more than simple commands like sit and stay. Here's more.
Say to your dog, "Bring me your ball," and oftentimes that's exactly what they'll fetch. For a long time, scientists had trouble determining whether dogs actually understand what we humans say, until now.
There is an interesting phenomenon that it seems that dogs are better at learning commands or instruction words than learning object words.
A new study in Hungary found that dogs can learn to associate words with specific objects, a relationship with language called referential understanding.
It seems that even if owners claim that their dogs understand object words, when we test them, typical family dog will fail to fetch something just by its name. So we were curious whether passively they understand the meaning of the words, and the short answer is yes. We found that they do understand.
18 dogs participated in the study. Dog owners would play an audio clip in which they say the name of their dog's toy. In some cases, the owners would present the dog with an object that matched the word. In other cases, the object didn't match. The results showed that there was a different pattern in the dog's brains when the words matched the object compared to when they didn't, just like humans.
We found that brain responses were different when an owner showed a matching object versus when it showed a mismatching.
Burroughs said the study is the first to claim the ability to understand referential language being present in dogs. The researchers plan to examine if the ability is specific to dogs or might be present in other mammals as well.
One of Las Vegas Strip's oldest casinos chained up this week. The city is making room for a stadium.
The Tropicana Las Vegas, a mob-era casino and Sin City landmark, closed on Tuesday after 67 years. Las Vegas Strip's third oldest casino will be demolished in October to make room for a $1.5 billion Major League Baseball stadium. It's part of the city's latest rebrand as a hub for sports entertainment. In the 1971 film Diamonds Are Forever, James Bond stayed in a swanky suite at the Tropicana. The population of Clark County, which includes Las Vegas, had just surpassed 100,000 when the Tropicana opened on the Strip, surrounded by vast open desert. It cost $15 million to build 3 stories with 300 rooms split into 2 wings. Its manicured lawns and flashy showroom earned it the nickname Tiffany of the Strip. Today, the site at the south end of the Las Vegas Strip intersects with a major thoroughfare named for the Tropicana. It is surrounded by towering mega resorts that Las Vegas is now known for. But nearby are the homes of the NFL's Las Vegas Raiders, who left Oakland, California in 2020, and the city's first Major League professional team, the NHL's Vegas Golden Knights. The ballpark planned for the land beneath the Tropicana is expected to open in 2028.
Fast food chain Arby's announced that they are giving away free sandwiches all month long in April. The deal will be sent to rewards members each week. NTD's Jason Blair has the details.
Arby's says no sandwich is off limits for their free sandwich month. Arby's Rewards members will get a digital deal each week in April to redeem a free sandwich of their choice. Chief Marketing Officer Ellen Rose said in a press release, quote, Arby's sandwiches are so delicious, which is why Free Sandwich Month is the perfect opportunity for any skeptics out there to try any of the sandwiches they've been eyeing. Customers can sign up to be a rewards member on the Arby's website. To redeem the weekly free sandwich deals, orders must be placed online or through the mobile app. The promotion is running until April 30th. Also in April, Dairy Queen has a deal for mobile app users. Until April 14th, customers can buy one Blizzard and get one of equal or lesser value for free. Jason Blair, NTD News.
Stay tuned for China in Focus with Tiffany Meyer coming up next. President Biden warning Chinese leader Xi Jinping to not interfere in the upcoming U.S. election. More details coming tonight at China in Focus with Tiffany Meyer at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And that's all we've got for you tonight. We'd like you to join us again on NTD Tonight every weekday at 9 p.m. I'm David Zhang. Have a wonderful evening.